Hello, this is Sabika Syed and welcome to the print headlines. Amend law on pregnancy termination of rape survivors, says Supreme Court. A minor child cannot be forced to bear a pregnancy, said the Supreme Court of India today, while pulling up the centre and asking it to amend the law to permit rape survivors to terminate unwanted pregnancies even beyond 20 weeks. The court said in its impassioned observations that this is a case of child rape and the survivor will have a lifelong scar and trauma if the termination is not allowed. A bench of Chief Justice Suryakant and Justice Joymala Bagchi took strong exception to a plea by AIIMS seeking to set aside the apex court order allowing a 15-year-old girl to medically terminate her 30-week pregnancy. Repolling request made for 77 booths in West Bengal, EC to take call after probe. The Election Commission is examining demands for repolling in 77 booths across 4 assembly constituencies in South 24 Parganas district, following the second phase of the West Bengal elections held yesterday. According to an official, the poll panel has received a total of 32 complaints from Falta, 29 from Diamond Harbour, 13 from Magrahat and 3 from Bajbaj. Delhi court grants bail to I-PAC director Vinesh Chandel after no objection from ED. A Delhi court today granted regular bail to Vinesh Chandel, director of the political consultancy Indian Political Action Committee or I-PAC, after the Enforcement Directorate didn't oppose the plea. Chandel was arrested by the central agency on April 13, days before the ongoing West Bengal assembly polls. Director and co-founder of political consultancy firm I-PAC, he is accused in a money laundering case linked to an alleged coal scam in the poll-bound state. Supreme Court lets BJP leaders Parvesh Verma and Anurag Thakur off the hook in 2020 hate speech case. Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Parvesh Verma and Bharatiya Janata Party leader Anurag Thakur got a clean chit from the Supreme Court from allegations of delivering hate speeches against those protesting against the CAA in January 2020. A bench of Justices Vikram Nath and Sandeep Mehta upheld a Delhi High Court decision which said their remarks did not incite communal violence or public disorder. Supreme Court reserves verdict on Pawan Khera's plea for pre-arrest bail in Assam case. Congress leader Pawan Khera in Supreme Court today accused Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma of playing the, and I quote, constitutional Rambo or constitutional cowboy by using the state's power of arrest to personally humiliate him. The Telangana High Court had earlier granted Khera a 7-day transit anticipatory bail, but Assam police moved the Supreme Court against it. Assam police has registered a criminal case against Khera for his remarks in a press conference against Chief Minister Sarma's wife, Riniki Bhuyan Sharma. The Congress leader had alleged that Sharma held multiple passports and considerable assets abroad. ECI directs Odisha CEO to hear BJD's double ballot charge. The Election Commission of India has directed Odisha's Chief Electoral Officer to hear the grievances of the Biju Janata Dal or the BJD, which has demanded action on the issuance of a second ballot paper to 2 BJP MLAs during the Rajya Sabha polls on March 16. The poll panel's direction came in response to a plea submitted by BJD MP Sasmit Patra to Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh Kumar. Congress decides not to contest Maharashtra Legislative Council polls to support MVA candidate. The Congress, part of the opposition Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra, announced today that they will not field a candidate for the Legislative Council elections in the state on May 12, 2026. The decision was taken after MVA leaders held a meeting at Shiv Sena UBT leader and former Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thakure's residence. The Congress had said it would contest the polls, however, appears to have relented after a call between the party's Maharashtra in charge Ramesh Chennithala and Shiv Sena UBT Chief Uddhav Thakure. Bihar government removes Sanjay Gandhi's name from Patna Zoo Dairy Technology Institute. The BJP-led government in Bihar renamed the Sanjay Gandhi Biological Park as Patna Zoo and the Sanjay Gandhi Institute of Dairy Technology as Bihar State Institute of Dairy Technology. Among the other 61 decisions taken was the allocation of 23,165 crore rupees for the Mukhyamantri Vidyut Upbhokta Sahayata Yojana, under which power consumers in the state get 125 units of free electricity every month. The decisions were taken at a cabinet meeting chaired by Chief Minister Samrat Chaudhary. Accused youth convicted in 2024 rape murder of Puducherry minor girl. Special Judge of Fast Track Court in Puducherry, MD Sumati, today found the lone surviving accused, Kaka alias Karnas, guilty of all charges in the case of sexual assault and murder of a 9-year-old girl in 2024 in the Union Territory. The judge found the accused guilty of charges including gang rape, murder, kidnapping and under other relevant sections of the POCSO Act. Later, she posted the case to May 5 for sentencing of the accused. 4 Kerala government doctors booked on negligence charges over 7-year-old girl's rabies death. A case has been registered against 4 government doctors after a 7-year-old girl died of rabies following a stray dog attack at Panalur in Kollam district of Kerala. Nia Faisal of Patanapuram succumbed to rabies in May 2025 after being attacked by a stray dog while playing in front of her house. Following her death, the family alleged medical negligence against the doctors at Panalur Taluk Hospital. Mujtaba Khamenei says Iran will protect its nuclear missile capabilities, says US suffered disgraceful defeat. Mujtaba Khamenei says Iran will protect its nuclear missile capabilities, says US suffered disgraceful defeat. Iran's Supreme Leader said today that the Islamic Republic will protect its nuclear and missile capabilities as a national asset, even as US President Donald Trump tries to get a deal on those issues. Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei spoke in a written statement read aloud on Iranian state television, as he has since he took over after the February 28 airstrike that killed his 86-year-old father, Ali Khamenei. The Supreme Leader said the only place Americans belong in the Persian Gulf is at the bottom of its waters, as the Strait of Hormuz remains in Tehran's chokehold. Iran President says US naval blockade doomed to fail. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian today said a US naval blockade on Iranian ports would deepen disruptions in the Gulf and would fail to achieve its targets. He said, and I quote, "Any attempt to impose a maritime blockade or restrictions is contrary to international law and is doomed to fail." Congress confronts Hexit for the first time since Iran war started. The hearing before the House Armed Services Committee was focused on the administration's 2027 military budget proposal, which would boost defense spending to a historic $1.5 trillion. Hexit and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, stressed the need for more drones, missile defense systems, and warships. Lashing out at the Democrats and labeling them as the biggest adversary, a combative US Secretary of Defense, Hexit clashed with lawmakers during his first appearance in front of the House committee. He said, and I quote, "The biggest adversary we face at this point are the reckless, feckless, and defeatist words of congressional Democrats and some Republicans." Hexit declared in his opening remarks, setting the tone for the rest of the almost 6-hour hearing. Trump welcomes UAE's exit from OPEC. US President Donald Trump welcomed the United Arab Emirates' move to pull out of OPEC and said he thinks the move could help lower oil prices. "I think it's great," Trump said when asked by reporters at the White House what he thought of UAE's decision. Trump says US is reviewing a potential reduction of its troops in Germany. US President Donald Trump, who has criticized Germany and other NATO allies for not sending their navies to help open the Strait of Hormuz, said yesterday his administration is looking at reducing the number of US troops in Germany. He said, and I quote, "The United States is studying and reviewing the possible reduction of troops in Germany with a determination to be made over the next short period of time." Vietnam President To Lam to visit India next week on Modi's invite. At the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the President of Vietnam, To Lam, will pay a state visit to India from May 5 to May 7, a statement by the Ministry of External Affairs said. To Lam's first India visit since taking office will include talks with PM, President Murmu, Bodh Gaya and Mumbai trips, and focus on boosting ties marking 10 years of strategic partnership. The General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Vietnam, Lam will be accompanied by a high-level delegation comprising several ministers and senior officials of the government of Vietnam. Hours after sharing maps showing Jammu and Kashmir as part of Pakistan, Nepal Airlines regrets cartographic inaccuracy. Hours after Nepal Airlines issued an inaccurate route map depicting the entire region of Jammu and Kashmir as part of Pakistan, the state-run carrier issued a formal apology for the cartographic error. In a statement shared on X, Nepal Airlines described the map as containing significant cartographic inaccuracies and said it did not reflect the official position of either the airline or the Nepali government. Press freedom at lowest level in 25 years, says RSF. Press freedom has fallen to its lowest level in a quarter of a century, Reporters Without Borders warned today. They said, and I quote, "For the first time in the RSF Index 25-year history, more than half the world's countries now fall into the difficult or very serious categories for press freedom." The statement also said the average score for all countries and territories worldwide has never been so low. Families of Canada school shooting victims sue OpenAI over shooter's use of ChatGPT. The families of victims of a school shooting in a Canadian Rockies town are suing artificial intelligence company OpenAI in US federal court, seeking to hold the ChatGPT maker responsible for failing to alert police to the shooter's alarming interactions with the chatbot. A lawsuit filed yesterday on behalf of 12-year-old Maya Gebella, who was critically injured in the February shooting, is among the first of dozens of cases that families in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia are planning, with claims alleging wrongful death, negligence and product liability. Soham Shah's horror drama Tumbar 2 finally has a release date. Tumbar 2 was officially announced by Soham in September 2024. The film will not be directed by Rahi, who is working on a separate trilogy of films comprising of Tumbar, Pahad Pangira and Pakshitirtha. It also stars Nawazuddin Siddiqui and is a sequel to the critically acclaimed 2018 period horror drama. That's all we have for you today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest.